you are going to help us with some ideas of things that aren't too difficult to do, but that could really make a difference in harvesting and protecting rainwater as it comes to our property and as it leaves our property.
That's right. You know, it's estimated that 9 billion gallons of water are used across the U.S. for outdoor uses only every single day.
Really?
And that up to 50% of that might be wasted through excess irrigation or inefficiency. So that's why we have this topic today, and we'll start with determining if we need to irrigate.
How much?
How much? And do we need to do it? And one simple tool is to have a rain gauge at your house. So how much water on average do plants need? And it's going to vary, but in general,
during the growing season.
1 inch per week.
About an inch.
About an inch.
So people can just go out, get a rain gauge, put it in their yard in a nice unobstructed place, so you're going to get an accurate reading. And this one might be hard to see on TV. If I turn it around, it has the scale on there, and so we're just going to check, see if we get an inch of water, and if we do, we probably don't need to supplementally irrigate.
That's right. You'll be wasting it, letting it wash away.
That's right.
Well, and not only that, but too much water actually is harmful sometimes, because we know that a lot of our fertilizers, particularly the nitrogen aspect, can be lost through over-irrigation, can it, Terasa?
Yes, and nitrogen and phosphorus can both contribute to algal blooms in our surface waters, which have some negative consequences. So certainly, and then even it can be problematic for plants, right? I mean,
that's right. Plants
too much
can drown.
water can be just as detrimental as not enough.
I say most plants don't swim very well.
No, they don't like to have wet feet, huh?
Yeah, they don't like the wet feet.
And of course, in the South, with our humidity, one of the major disease pressures that we have are fungal diseases.
That's right.
And so if people constantly over-irrigate, keep their plants wet, then that just increases the chance of the fungal organism being able to penetrate the plant and taking up.
And it's better to have water that goes straight on to the roots, like we've got. Terasa has one here first, and we've got another one there.
So tell us what this is, Terasa.
So super simple technology. This is just a soaker hose, easily available to consumers, and essentially it's just going to slowly weep out water right there where the roots are and where the plants can take it up.
And leaving the leaves dry.
Yes, which contributes to that disease pressure that you were talking about. And so now sometimes people want to use this with a rain barrel, and I have already taken out, normally there would be a pressure reducing gasket right in here, because of course the water that comes out of your faucet at home is going to have a greater pressure than a rain barrel would. So you would want to remove that if you're using it with a rain barrel.
Now, how long can a soaker hose be and be effective, would you think?
I'd have to ask Tony that question. He has far more irrigation experience than I do.
Well, it's depending on how much water you got. So you have to balance the two out, and it'll tell you how much it can put out per foot.
It will.
So you can gauge that by the number of gallons you have coming through your system.
Okay.
And the length of it by the number of gallons it'll put out.
Okay. And actually, you could put that under the mulch and nobody would even know it was there, would they?
Yeah, you can sort of camouflage it.
Yeah.
So sort of moving a step up, Tony was nice enough to bring what he calls trickle irrigation. So let's hear about how that works.
This is what farmers use in South Carolina. If you ever been to a strawberry patch, you've seen this, but you probably didn't notice it too much because it was under the plastic. But what it is, it's just an inflatable hose. It'll blow up whenever the water gets into it. It swells up, and then it has little emitters. Here's one here, and then one on this side. That right here shows you the inside of the hose, and it's a little emitter that actually lets a little bit of water out at a time, just drips out. And this is about 18 inches apart, so it has emitters every 18 inches. And then you know how big that emitter is, and you can figure how much water you need to put down per acre, exactly.
So it will, since water moves, especially hard, when it's coming at a slow rate, it moves horizontally, so it'll move and stay in the root zone and not be wasted by going down low where the roots aren't going.
And even with this, though, it's better to do 2 or 3 irrigations a day instead of just 1.
Can the farmers even put fertilizer to the plants through that?
That's right. That's called fertigation. They can put dissolvable fertilizer that won't stop up the system. You don't want something to go in there that'll stop up these little tiny little holes. But just something that's really soluble, and it will go out into this and then and fertilize the plants. And actually, in a large vegetable garden, you can buy this too, or purchase this somewhere, and it will do the same in your garden. And you can give the plants exactly what they need.
Wow. Well, you know, I think this is the year that I'm going to be an engineer. Maybe you think we could do it, Teresa?
Maybe with Tony's help.
Maybe with Tony's help.
You know, one of my pet peeves is seeing irrigation systems going either during a rain event or right after a rain event, because of course that's just excess water can be contributing to stormwater runoff. But there are technologies that can help us prevent that from happening.
And that occurs when people have their system on a timer and they're not manually turning on at all.
Right. I like to say it's not fix it and forget it, right? We have to think about these things.
That's right.
And so one strategy is to use a rain sensor. So if you already have an irrigation system installed, you can obtain a rain sensor and wire it into the existing controller. And that will either prevent the system from turning on, and you can set it from, I think, 1/8 of an inch up to 1 inch of rain.
Oh,
or
there's even some, you have a little bit of leeway. You can fine tune it.
That's right.
That's nice.
That is really nice. So depending on, you know, what kind of water needs you have in your landscape.
Okay, okay.
And I like this one because it also, when it freezes, you don't want somebody sliding down
Oh, no.
or
Oh, my
slipping
goodness,
whenever the water's on your walkway.
On your sidewalk,
So
yeah.
it doesn't, it stops it when it's also freezing, so you don't have
a lot of people say, well, I've already spent so much money. Are these devices extremely expensive, or are they reasonable?
I think they're very reasonable, less than $50.
Okay, okay.
to get
And you would
something.
save money because when you irrigate with city water, you still have to pay the sewer on it. So you really don't want to just have that bill going up and up and up, do
That's
you?
right. So numerous benefits. Plant health, money, I mean, monetary savings are huge. So lots and lots of reasons why we should consider conserving water. And then if we're talking about installing a new irrigation system, there are a variety of what we call smart controllers available. And so some of them are going to already have those rain sensors built into them, and that's what we have displayed right there.
Oh.
And then even moving up, we have what are known as weather-based controllers, and they either work on pre-programmed weather data or a local weather station to calculate evapotranspiration. I mean, pretty high-tech stuff there.
So if you
Smarter
happen
than
to be going to Italy for the summer and you want your turf grass to get the right amount of water but not too much, you could hook up to your local TV station or weather station, and this brain, which works better than my brain, would take care of things.
Yes, definitely. And we have some great resources available, so certainly you probably can't remember all of that information. You can look for our HGIC fact sheet on conserving water in the landscape, and that will go through everything from starting with a water-wise plan to soil preparation to plant selection and irrigation, including the EPA's WaterSense program. And so that link is also on your screen right now. And if you look for WaterSense labeled products, those are going to meet criteria that we have been talking about today. So
WaterSense.
yes.
Okay.
WaterSense.
All right. Well, thank you so much.